Welcome back to Dream of Mirror Online. Today I am finally going to pick up another new job. I am a martial artist, which means I get to wear the adorable clothing, at least for a little bit. Whoa, Tabby Cat, whoa, that cat is possessed. Okay, this is an excellent start to the episode. Anyway, first things first, I do want to introduce some stuff about the martial artist. So, the first thing is martial artist stats. As you can see, your best stats are power, physique, and agility. Now, what you want to do is obviously going to depend on what you want to do with martial artist. And martial artist is interesting because it actually has two different weapons, and you essentially have to choose between one or the other. I tried on my other character doing both, and you just can't. There aren't enough skill points really to distribute between them nicely, and constantly switching weapons in battle is very confusing too. So you need to choose. Demon Cat, wow. Okay, so you need to choose. And I personally prefer the staff because it's much better for single player. I usually hear that the boxing gloves are good for player versus player stuff, which is not really my thing at all. I'm not into that. So, my friend is asking me to join the party. But anyway, they know that I'm going to be doing the intro first. So what I prefer to do is a build which is heavily based on agility and physique. Firstly, the staff attacks have extremely high cooldowns. It is very unfortunate, so you need high agility. And physique is good because that is martial artist's best stat. It gives you a lot of extra attack, and it also gives you defense and HP recovery. Martial artist has the highest HP of any job, and it has really good HP recovery. So physique is also worth it, but I'm going to be doing an extremely high agility build. I'd say 2 agility and 1 physique. That is probably one of the recommended builds here, in fact. Let's see. Yes, 2 agility, 1 physique is on there, and I'm probably going to be doing that, except occasionally some dexterity to make sure that I have accuracy. I find you do need dexterity into the 20s, and then by the time you're in your 40s, you probably want to get dexterity up to 30, maybe, or like 28. 28 is a good base level, so that's what I'm personally going to be doing. I've done martial artist a lot on my other character, Mian Mian, so by now I have a pretty good idea of what I like as martial artist, and it's high agility. Okay, and so here I will show you the boxing glove moves. Penetrating blow can damage an enemy regardless of defense. Arm lock, which will has a chance of disarming the enemy. I think it actually reduces their attack, yes. Flying fist, attack that does damage from a distance. It's also potentially good for solo play because all of this stuff can be used against single target enemies as well. Knockout rushes into the enemy at great speed, occasionally knocks them out. And that is actually a pretty good move. Same with Jawbreaker, the higher level version. These aren't bad moves, I just personally don't prefer them. I think the staff is much better as far as doing damage to single enemies. So in particular for fighting bosses or fighting really high HP enemies, the staff attacks are going to be better. The only area of effect move the gloves have is Seismic Shudder. It is extremely weak. It does very low base damage. It's not based on your attack stat or anything like that. It just does a set amount of HP to the enemies, which is not great. The thing that actually makes it useful is that it doesn't say it here, but it will say it when you look at the full thing in your little status thing when you're looking at the moves. It's a high hate move. What it does is it draws aggro from enemies. And this means, interestingly, that martial artist can actually be a tank. I have heard, I've not tried this, but if a martial artist uses Seismic Shudder and they have equipped heavy armor, then they can actually tank for a small team. Yeah, because you have so much HP, even though you don't have the defense of a mercenary, you can potentially tank with your HP and with evasion and all of that. And Seismic Shudder plus Monk Monsters from the mercenary probably would allow you to keep the aggro on you very nicely for your team or even just one friend who you're training with. However, even if you don't like Seismic Shudder and you're not interested in that, it's still worth getting because when you get it to level 5, you will unlock Tranquil Turtle. I've talked about this a lot. It is probably the best standing HP recovery move. You can't put it on friends, you can only put it on yourself, but it does huge amounts of HP. I know I did a comparison of it at some point. I don't have that visual up anymore, I apologize. But it does way more than regen, and you start unlocking it at lower levels than the high levels of regeneration, which do anything comparable to it. I think I'm still doing 47 HP. Tranquil Turtle starts higher than that, so it's really good. Now, Flying Fist, leveling it up to level 5, will get Fortifying Force, which will increase your defense. That's good, but I just never have the skill points for it, so I don't know if I'll be doing that. And here are the staff attacks. Cobalt Serpent Staff is just a pretty basic staff attack. It's not super powerful. Swizzle Stick is extremely powerful. It is the most powerful attack you have as a martial artist. You can sometimes one-shot enemies with it. Cloud Shaker Staff has a long reach. This is going to be one that's good if you're trying to draw an enemy which can aggro into a tighter area where you don't have to worry about the other monsters aggroing on you. And it does do a pretty good amount of damage. Meditation is something which is mainly worth it because firstly you can spend less time in recovery if you get hurt. It will increase your sitting HP and MP recovery, which isn't that great, but it unlocks Channel Energy, which will increase your maximum HP. Now I know that in the 40s, Mian Mian had about 3.5k HP, and when I used Channel Energy, it would go up to 5,000 HP. It is also a very, very good move. It's like Prolong Life, but you just use it on yourself, and it's really good. Elbow is not that great. It does lower the enemy's attack though, and the higher level version of Elbow will give you Break Weapon, which will actually lower the enemy's attack, and it also does damage to them. Elbow just lowers their attack. It doesn't actually attack them physically, so it's not that great, but there you are. Staff Whip is, it's just throwing a staff at the enemy, so it's just another attack, which you want. You want all of the staff attacks you can get because they have a very high cooldown. And then Dragon Guard is technically an area of effect move, one of the only ones you get as a martial artist, but it's not very good for area of effect. It does a lot of damage to a single target which is extremely close to you, and then only a tiny bit of damage to other enemies. Staff Dance is an okay area of effect move, but it's not that great. It's really not the specialty of martial artists, which I did find frustrated me at later levels when there were a lot of enemies with aggro. But anyway, it's really good for doing single target fighting. You can really rip through enemies very quickly as you work on it. Okay, so I need to set up a hotkey for this. Do I have any spare hotkeys? No, I do not. That is a slight problem. I'm just gonna have to get rid of this one for now. That's a shame. Here I have the fan moves, Stolen Poison. Okay, not that. Okay, so I do have the pet skills here because I also have something to show you when it comes to pets in a bit. I don't need Penetrating Blow, but for this, since you can choose either path, you do have both of these unlocked right away. Ta-da! Okay, so something I have to show you that's very exciting is a guild member gifted me a pet. I'm so grateful. It was a level 1 egg for the rock pet, so I just quickly leveled him up to level 10 and evolved him. And here he is. He's adorable. Come here so we can look at you, baby. Hello. His name currently is I Am Your Dinner Tonight. There, it is recorded for posterity. However, I do have a pet name tag, so I can change his name. Here, I do want to eventually buy more for my other pets, but for now. Okay, I chose a name for him already. I'm going to call him Wu Nung, which is the name of a character from Journey to the West. I thought that it was fitting, and it was a more noble name than I Am Your Dinner Tonight. There we are. The pet naming tags are a little expensive in the marketplace, but that is okay. Look, now his name is Wu Nung. He is now a very noble boar. Alright, my friend Yating is already level 12 in Swan Lake Basin, and I need to catch up to them to train together. We did say we would do that since we are the same level, and I'm going to see if the array is still here or if it's been moved by now. Oh, bloody hell. I shouldn't have turned off the... Okay, so my friend has Dancer Area of Effect skills subbed in and is currently destroying entire mobs, so I'm really not very useful here fighting single poo-poos at a time. Anyway, I'm just gonna do my thing. I'd say 2 agility, and actually I do want to work on dexterity a bit before focusing on physique, so 1 dexterity, and let's see if I unlock any more staff attacks yet. No, only nothing, absolutely nothing. Well, fine. I feel so useless. It's okay. Anyway, Wu Neng can keep me company while we're both useless together. My goodness, that's incredible. I really need to sub those in. I should have got them. Well, because I mean, I have those too. I feel very useless. Wow. I feel like I'm just leeching right now. Well, I got a level. Okay, once I get dexterity into the teens, I can just focus on physique. Okay, now I get Swizzle Stick. That is a very good move. I wish I had some of these, but you only get them at higher levels. It's not really an area of effect job, although I should say, the thing is, martial artist is not very good at magic, so yeah, that's a problem. And then I do have Flying Fist and Arm Lock, but the only one I'm thinking of at the moment is Seismic Shudder. So there we are. Wow. Just wow. Okay. Well, Pet is nearly level 12 too, so that's good. I really should try slipping those in myself. I don't know how good they'll be on martial artist, as said. I mean, it's those different dances are based on magic attack, and my magic attack is, actually it's 42. I suppose that's respectable. Well, you know, maybe when we go to, my goodness, I am useless here. Well, you know, it's fine. One shot the dairy poo. When we go to Copperhorn, I can pick up the skills myself and sub them in, so that's fine. Just wow, I didn't realize how good subbing those in actually is. Okay, I have learned something. Let me just find something to beat up. Okay, so Yating tipped me off to this. It's actually really good to sub in the Flaming Foxtrot and River Rompa. Between both of us doing it, we can not quite take out the mob yet, but we're doing pretty well. We'll get there. And I'm level 15 now, so let us get more agility and 1 more dexterity for now, and then I'll take a break on dexterity and focus on physique. Follow my friend, and let's take a look here. I can't get Seismic Shudder again. I can't get anything good, so I'm just saving up skill points. I wish I had these right now, but I need to be level 31 and 32 to get them. Even though Martial Artist doesn't have great magic attack, this is still an extremely effective way to deal with enemies. I think that the anniversary title really helps. It adds a lot to your magic attack. So what would otherwise be a pretty bad base magic attack is actually pretty good on thanks to the title. Let's see, do any of these enemies aggro? Because I might be able to just leave Wu Neng in a wall. Okay, right here. Okay, baby, you stay here. Oh my goodness, why does the recycle skill even exist? That's terrible. He's in a wall. You can't see him. Oh my goodness. That's, no, not you. Incredible. Wow. And I think I'm reckless, but hey, there you are. Yating, you are too strong. What was that, a 5 level difference at least? I mean, you can do that, but I think it's higher level. What's my butterfly? I'm looking it up. I want to know. Level 23. Well, Yachting is always just like pure power. They also have a sprite character, tiny, tiny little sprite, but just pure power. Very, very, very dangerous. And yeah, you can see, wow, that's a pretty big level difference to be contending with. What is it? 8 levels? Yeah, 8 level difference, but not a problem apparently. I am very impressed. Wow. Well, at least I went and got the area of effect skills, so I feel like I'm actually contributing and not kind of just standing there and poking at things minutely. And now that we're waiting on this for a sec while my friend is pulling, I can talk about how you get a lot of bonuses for being in a party with your guild members. Well, that's the super shiny that's about to wear off, but you get all of these and they just keep coming back. So basically this is to prevent you from just teaming up temporarily and then vanish and then separating. Instead, you have to actually stay teamed up and fighting together for these skills to continue working. They are time-based. Well, alright, Wunong is in a wall and he is getting experience, so he should be fine. Maybe I'll switch him to 50% experience with me. Yeah, I think that sounds good. A very valid approach is who needs agility, who needs HP, who needs evasion, who needs defense. If you can just kill the enemies before they even get to do anything, then there you are. Obviously we're not quite doing that, but that's fine. Oh, we're so close to be able to kill all of them. And these are the max spells, but once we get higher level, we'll be fine. But yeah, this is a really good way to level up again. And when you're at a higher level and you also have your own spells, yeah. Wow, I did not realize just how good it would be to sub these in. I thought that your lower magic attack, as some of your other jobs like martial artist, would depower it so much that it wouldn't be worthwhile. Yeah, so much for that. It's fine. Oh my goodness, I actually should get the gloves and use Seismic Shutter. Huh. I don't have them right now. Oh, at this point, well, I could wait till we're a higher level, and then I could do that. I normally don't like it, but I mean, if I need to level it up anyway to get Tranquil Turtle, might as well. I'm not really using staff at the moment. Of course, I would have to go back to Everslink to get the gloves. But yeah, that is definitely an option. It would still do a little bit of extra damage. Wow, so much for like using martial artist skills at the moment. Yeah, this is... yeah. That's all I have to say. Giant mobs. Well, currently, Yachting is very tempted by the Sandstone Ladybug, level 25. I feel like that's... okay, you know what, that's fine. Yay! I mean, the anniversary title does make the early levels a lot easier, but still. Wow. Yeah. YOLO indeed. Yeah. Sorry, I'm clipping into my friend. That is slightly awkward. I'm gonna follow them because I don't want to get lost. Honestly, at this point, it's like we're leveling up so quickly, there's no point even waiting, even getting level 15 gear. We can just wait till level 20. Pretty much, yeah. We can definitely take him, yes, let's just take the other ladybug too, why not? Oh yes, the, what is it? Is it Growling Tiger? Which one is it that does that? Just completely stunned, and it barely managed to even look at us. Wow. Also, my inventory is completely shot. That's fine. Looks like I got the Onyx of Archery. The Onyx of Sincerity is mine. The Onyx of Archery is new. Okay. Wow. Yeah, this is a very efficient method of grinding below levels. Wow. Yeah. Oh look, Wunong made it to level 15. Yay, he's hiding in a wall so no one will hurt him, but he's here, not helping. Oh yeah, I want to actually hit them now that I'm out of parrying effect moves. There we are. Yeah, I think we can just wait till level 20 before we re-gear. Absolutely. Come in. I want to talk to you about the life missions of different jobs. We're a bit busy, but hello, sir. Yeah, this is going extremely smoothly. Yeah, we're still trying to kill this lost hedgehog. There we are. Oh, this is one of the last times he'll show up. I only have a few more jobs left to get to 20. Aww. Is there anywhere else I can see him? I'll miss him. I say as I often ignore him. Anyway. Yes. That was incredibly fast, and as you can see, we didn't even need to level up, need to change our gear or anything. We're still in level 10 gear. One thing that's very convenient is actually the guild bonuses. Because we're in the same guild, we're also getting extra attack and defense and stuff like that, so that also helps. But yeah, absolutely, that was good. And yeah, you can see Martial Artist also has very good agility, and I think I do need a bit of dexterity. When I'm done with dexterity for the time being, I will just switch to physique and agility, but yeah, it's really good. You can see I have a lot of extra points that I'm not using because I don't care for some of these skills. I'm kind of tempted to... I'm going to consider if I want to get something like staff or boxing gloves, not gloves, staff mastery. We'll see how many points I have at level... Yeah, we'll see. Wait, no, mastery is different. It's the equip ability. That just increases the full strength stuff. Okay, so yeah, yep, that was good. At this point though, we probably need to change areas and get better gear, so that will be later. Okay, it's a new day and evening, and look, a member of a guild gave me Actually, I think they might be one of the leaders. Anyway, I'm very grateful. They actually had the headdress for this costume and they gifted it to me. I'm so grateful, especially because right now I'm in the rhino armor underneath it. I did remember to put the rhino armor on, and now I have boxing gloves, which look really funny with the princess costume. And Yating is here. Yating's goal at the moment is to get to level 30 Blade Master and get equipped light armor, because we were in Grizzly Garrison and Downswear was not very good for that. So we're going to be training some more. I now have a boxing gloves because we can do area of effect fighting with seismic shutter and all of the dancing moves. So let's see, I need to put some regen on myself just in case we do get in a spot of trouble, and we're ready to fight. Yating hates the hulu bamboos, so we should absolutely murder them. Oh yeah, I need to put Wunang in a wall too. Okay, I just need to go put him in the wall over here so that he won't get hurt, and then I will join. There is Yating's pet hiding in a wall. Wunang, go join Safi. Go join little Safi. Bawu Q. Definitely need to get a name tag. Someone else needs a name tag. Anyway, I wish those were a little cheaper. My goodness, I'm so terrified of that vanish thing now. Why does it exist? And we are in an auto loot party with another team, with another guild member who is not with us because they're level 75. But we'll just stay for the auto loot party, I think. I'm not sure if they're online at the moment. It looks like maybe we're, oh no, the experience share is working, okay. Okay, time for us to beat up some bamboos. And what level are bamboos in comparison to us? 24, so not bad. Okay, so I don't know if you'll see this now, but Seismic Shutter should actually draw some of their aggro. Not that that matters now because oh, it's back on. As you can see, it does not do a lot of base damage, but it's better than nothing. And I should probably go grab the other attack here, Penetrating Blow, and just stick it on. I don't find there's enough there's enough skill points to do like 2 paths, so to speak, but we can definitely do a few. It looks so funny to be in the Qing Dynasty Princess costume and have these giant boxing gloves floating by me. And I love that the sylphs don't even wear the boxing gloves, they just float next to you. Sylphs don't touch anything. It's dirty, why would they? Yeah, you can see that we're definitely not doing as much damage with our small roster of area effect skills against these guys, but that's okay. When I hit level 31, I think it is, I can get some area effect skills for this, but for now this is what we've got, and we are definitely durable and evasive enough on my part to handle the mobs, so it's not a big deal. Even if we don't kill them quite as quickly this way, it's fine. There we are. Well, yeah, this is definitely an interesting method of training. It's really interesting that these actually work pretty well. I think it's the anniversary title which helps a lot. Without it, I did find, back when I didn't know about it, I had it but I wasn't using it. Anyway, I did find that without it, you did have issues where your magic attack just wasn't high enough for skills like this to be subbed in effectively. And now it's much more effective, so it's worth it, definitely. Well, at least Seismic Shudder has fast cooldown, that's something. Even if it's not very high damage, better than nothing. Okay, I am recording the rest of this episode much later as Mian Mian's martial artist. As you can see, I somehow got her martial artist up to level 47, and as a result, I can show you a lot more of its skills. And you can see here is how I built her martial artist. Honestly, I probably should have put a lot of points into power. I know that physique and agility both do give you power, but honestly, I probably should have gone for a really high attack on a martial artist, but there you are. And she does have Seismic Shudder not to use, but to unlock Tranquil Turtle. You can see that's 90 HP at level 3, and the next one will be 130 HP. And so when you're starting out, I do think that this is better than regen in a lot of respects. This is already better than, what is it, level 10 regeneration. Level 10 regen only does 68 HP. And the only one better, the best healing move is Regen 11, because that will do, for 30 seconds, it will restore HP based on your max HP. So as you continue to level up and get upgrades to your HP and stuff, it does a lot of HP recovery. But in the short term, Tranquil Turtle is better. And I didn't put points into this because I suck, I'm working on it, but Fortifying Force will increase your defense. So that is very useful, although the cooldown and spell duration are different, but Martial Artist does get a lot of benefits out of agility, so you can work on that. And here are the staff attacks, and the problem I find with these is that they have, as you can see, extremely long cooldowns. What is this? That's 15, that's not terrible. 65. 25, and look at the MP requirements versus the MP you have as a martial artist. You eat MPs so quickly, it's terrible. So it is kind of flawed in many respects, although I do think that Channel Energy also is really good. That increases your max HP by a lot. But honestly, martial artist does have some weaknesses. So I'm just going to show you. Mian Mian's martial artist is obviously not incredibly well built, but let's find this. I do have, here we are, Channel Energy and Tranquil Turtle. I always get mixed up between turtle and tortoise, mostly because the game does too. So here we are, and I do have Lash Out and Burning Rage to increase my attack speed and attack stats. So you can see here against the Blazing Snake, which is a couple of levels above me, my evasion is good and my attack speed is good, but I honestly would need a lot more pure attack and probably accuracy, a little bit of accuracy, but mostly I would need more pure attack. You would want to be able to like two-shot these guys, I think. One major problem is that Dragon Guard here is only technically an area of effect move. It will do potentially a tiny bit of damage to an enemy to the side, but it mostly is just a strong single target move. So that's one problem. When you get hit by aggro, if you don't have sub-skills from another job, you don't really have a lot of ways to deal with it, and you basically are stuck single target attacking with very long cooldowns on your moves. 60! A casting interval of 60 for your strongest move. So I have a feeling about Martial Artist. I think that Martial Artist was probably built for player versus player. You can later on in the game upgrade all of your gear to give you a lot of bonuses to your attack, to your evasion, to your HP, to your MP, etc. So much stuff and defense boosts. But when you do player versus player matches, most of those upgrades are removed. So you're back to whatever your base level for that job should be. And as a result, I think that Martial Artist, with its extremely high base HP and very good evasion, you can see that Mian Mian's evasion is 94, is probably going to be incredibly good in player versus player. And I think that a lot of the boxing glove moves in particular that will damage an enemy regardless of their defense, so that goes past their defense. That is called, I think, an invincible skill or invincible damage. It is very good. And then this will reduce their attack power, half versus player, and it also has a chance to disarm the enemy, and this will draw aggro from an enemy. Flying Fist, inflict damage from a distance, and let's see, Seismic Shudder, that is actually for the field, but it's not very strong. You can knock the enemy unconscious, then reduce, ignoring the target's defense again, invincible skills. Snatcher's rare weapon, success rate is 55%. You can see that I honestly think a lot of these skills are probably built for player versus player. Why would they have such a long cooldown? And I know that some of these also, Staff Whip causes damage and it stops her magic for 5 seconds. And we also have Elbow, reduces their attack and rebound chance. And I think I didn't put this on this sheet, but we also have another skill, Break Weapon, stops them boosting their attack for 30 seconds. So I feel like player versus player, and also potentially with enough attack speed boosts, you would probably also be able to do well against bosses. I feel like that is probably kind of what Martial Artist is better for. Or also potentially you could do the tank route. Seismic Shudder draws aggro, so that would actually be a really useful way to be a sort of like a tank, sort of substitute mercenary with all of that HP. And I mean, once you start getting to higher levels and you get more titles, Mian Mian doesn't have as many titles, but if you have a lot of titles, wow, she doesn't even have enough titles for one of these bonuses. But when you have a lot of titles and you have like a wardrobe with costumes in it that are giving you bonuses and all of that stuff, then you have so much HP. But for this stage in the game, when you have no bonuses, you just have your regular gear, that is actually a really incredible HP stat. So that is a strength of Martial Artist for sure. Please die, little snake. But I do think that the main thing a Martial Artist is good at is, to be frank, something I'm personally not the biggest fan of, that is doing pure physical attack and attack speed. That's a popular build, and I think it's probably really good for bosses, but I mostly just like soloing in the field, and so for me, it's not a very appealing skill. Oh, you can see my accuracy is not great. That is because I didn't put as many points into dexterity as I could have. You do have an accuracy bonus from the staff, but it's clearly not enough. Okay, there we are. So I just wanted to kind of show that that is a weakness, and leveling up like this is obviously going to be extremely difficult. So I think that you would either need to focus heavily on pure attack power and attack speed and cool down on your skills, because my goodness, that's dreadful. And you would probably want to focus on enemies which are experience candy, basically. Like, I know, unfortunately, Martial Artists would be garbage against them without magic defense. You would probably need to sub in rogues or dancewear, but things like the flying noisy snakes, you can fight one at a time if you go like right here to the entrance, and they give you tons of experience, even though they do take a long time to take down. So there are things you could do like that, but by and large, it's definitely a job that's difficult to level alone. And one problem with the fact that Duomo is an older MMO is that the player base is largely an older player base, and it is very rare to see parties who are training in the main areas of the game. You do not see people coming to Dragon's Den and doing the main quests and fighting in groups together or stuff like that very often, and anything lower level than this, definitely not. There are no parties in these areas training. People are off doing speedrunning raids and training in the dungeon in Eversun City called Spooky Bottom, which gives you boosted experience. They're all like, basically they're all speedrunners. And I mean, more power to you if that's what you enjoy, but I do think it is a real problem for new players because you basically have to solo at the low levels. You have to solo until quite high level, probably. And if you don't, and jobs like this are not necessarily built for soloing very well. Enemies don't give as much experience at this stage. What you would want to do to train well is get this entire mob of snakes all together and then kill them with a round of area of effect skills. As a fencer in the right level range for them, I would have probably been able to do it with my 5 spells. That's usually what I expect to do, or maybe 3 spells. But that's what you really need to do to level. So if you want to level, if you do like Martial Artists for the HP and the defense and the evasion and attack speed and stuff, then I do have some, not all. You can see that you get an attack speed boost from the trousers. The hat gives you an HP boost, and I don't have the wrist guards for the clothing. That's okay. I believe that the wrist guards and boots give you evasion. So those are pretty good bonuses. So if you want to take advantage of some of martial artist's strengths, like its high HP pool and its evasion and things like that, I would honestly recommend finding a job to sub in. I've never tried this, but I think a dancer could be a really good possible option. I feel like you could probably do something really interesting with the fan dances, which are based around physical attack, and all of martial artists' self-buffs. That could potentially be a thing you could do. But yeah, that's kind of the point you're at, unfortunately. Like, I do think martial artists could be a good puller for a party or a good tank, but unless you want to power level up to 60, 70, 75, you're not gonna find parties usually who want to do that. Throwing this out there, I have multiple alts who are at different levels, and I also have a lot of jobs that's come in that I haven't really done a lot with yet because they're not my favorites. So chances are, if someone is a newbie and they do want someone to level with, I have an alt or a job I haven't done much of that I could train with you with. 2 people can make a great party. If someone subs in healing, someone takes care of taking more of the physical hits, or they could do both. Point is, you can absolutely sub in skills and make a great party of 2 or 3 alone. You don't need a big full party, but that's kind of where you're at, and I think this does leave martial artists in an awkward spot nowadays. So you're probably better off focusing either intensely on pure attack power and attack speed so that you can take down individual enemies very quickly. I mean, if you're sitting there and killing these enemies in 1 shot, 2 shot, and then you move on to the next one, move on to the next one, move on to the next one, then you would be doing really well, even with single target attacking, but you would need to be at that point, and I did not build martial artist for that. Maybe one day I'll reskill me and Min's martial artist and we can give that a go and see what it looks like. What does nearly pure power look like instead of physique and agility? Or maybe agility and power instead of agility and physique. That might be a possibility, but we'll see. However, yeah, I do feel like this was a job that was probably designed more for player versus player matches. So if you're into that, this could be a really good job to try. And I feel like some of these issues, like the fact that the moves require a lot of MP for a job which has a small MP pool and also have a really long cooldown, may have been meant to sort of balance the job so that it's not overpowered. I feel like a martial artist in player versus player, if they had really fast cooldown, could completely decimate an opponent. So that might be a factor too. And put on magic defense armor as well, so that they can't just kill you with magic spells easily. There you are. So I think that may well be a factor. Also, Minion is adorable. The pussy hat is so funny. Yes, they called it a pussy hat. I can't believe they did that, but they did. But a tiger cap, I think they might have changed it. Maybe they changed it at some point. I know it was called a pussy cap at some point. I guess they changed it because someone said that was inappropriate. Thank you. It's a tiger cap. Okay. And let's see, she has some other stuffs. I think this one does have the highest physical attack, but it doesn't give the accuracy bonus. So with Burning Rage as well. Yeah, I think that would, with higher base attack, using a move like that would probably be really good. I do think that is probably what you want to do. Unfortunately, these snakes can heal themselves, so yeah, you really need to hit them hard. So you know what? Yeah, I think that if you could just have really super high attack, like, let's say you were doing 500 plus a hit at this level, that would be really good. Get up to 600, 700 a hit. My goodness, that would be incredible. So, with that attack speed, so yeah, I do think that's probably what you want to do. If you want to do martial artist, you want extremely high attack speed. So that's probably what you would do, and I might one day actually reskill Mian Mian's martial artist for that and try it out, but not at the moment. I need to spend my gold on other things. But here we are, we've got a little bit of a view of what martial artist is, and as said, I do think it has its weaknesses, but also I think that the heavy attack speed and physical attack build is just not my preference. As the Let's Play goes through, I think you can see that I really enjoy Dancer and Fencer, so that's me. I'm just not the biggest fan of the way martial artist is, of the focus that martial artist has, but that's because I don't personally enjoy it, not because I think it's bad. I think if you really focused on your physical attack and your attack speed, you could do great things with martial artist, so if that job interests you, then give it a go. Okay, well, that was all for the martial artist episode. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye!